Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the lobby of the Municipal Center, and published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year. Salute to the flag, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Omar, could I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Corsair. Councilmember Menon.
Here.
Councilmember Michaels.
Present.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor.
Here.
Councilmember Park.
Here.
Councilmember O'Leary.
Here.
Mayor Senna.
Here. All right, Chief Chamberlain, please come up and step up to the microphone.
We're not wasting any time. Good evening, everyone. Happy holidays. Thank you for being out here, showing your support. So tonight, we are going to be swearing in 2 new officers to the Tenafly Police Department. We have more coming. This is a part of our restructuring rebuilding process. These 2 individuals that are going to be sworn in this evening, we're in 2 separate processes in very close proximity to one another. This is based upon some unexpected departures. Both of these individuals scored the highest in all the categories that we offer, which is basically the physical agility, the written examination, the interviews, and we couldn't be more happy with with them and their performance and their acceptance to join us. Because there's always tough, strict competition with other departments. So this evening is something we're going to start with the first officer. Officer Patrick Gray, can you please approach? Probationary Police Officer Patrick Gray of Saddle River, correct? I should know that. Patrick was a stand-up wrestler at Bergen Catholic High School in Oradell. Patrick earned a bachelor's degree in criminology and criminal justice from the University of South Carolina. Prior to being hired by the Borough of Tenafly, Patrick served as a full-time police dispatcher for the Saddle River Police Department. Patrick then applied to and was accepted into a competitive alternate route program at the Bergen County Police Academy, where he is scheduled to graduate on January 8, 2025, basically in a couple of weeks. Patrick is currently serving as the executive officer of his recruit class. He, along with the commanding officer, which is another recruit, are the recruits in charge of the police recruit class. They together are responsible for conveying the instructions and orders of the academy training staff. This is a position that is often lost and relinquished by other recruits when the class is not meeting the standards set by the police academy training staff. This is something that a lot of us can attest to, at least uniform officers that have all gone to the academy, and they bring in commanding officers and executive officers, and they don't measure up, unfortunately. And something that's not a big deal, but they do a little restructuring. Fortunately, he's was selected and was able to maintain his position, which is a testament to his leadership abilities. This is going to serve him well throughout his entire career. Upon graduation next month, Officer Gray will embark on his 3-month field training assignment before he's released on his own to patrol and serve the community. The academy teaches recruits how to be police officers in the state of New Jersey, but the field training program teaches him or her, the officer, how to be a police officer in the borough of Tenafly. While a lot of police departments are all very similar when it comes to application and enforcement of laws and procedures, we all differ greatly when it comes to practices and customized services to our towns and the service we provide to our communities. We're thrilled to have Officer Gray join our department here in Tenafly. Patrick Gray, you're now going to take your oath of office. So can I have Mary Ann, Mom, come up to the front here, and Father Bill is going to pin his badge after the oath. Omar.
I state your name.
I, Patrick Gray,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state under the authority of the people.
and in this state under the authority of the people.
I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties
of
of the office of probationary police officer
in the office of probationary police officer
for the borough of Tenafly
for the borough of Tenafly
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, next to the officer, Justin Olshaw, please. But now, Hackensack. Justin was a stand-up football player at Bergen Catholic High School. So I know we're trending here, but we're not always taking everyone from Bergen Catholic. Just turned out that way. Justin earned a bachelor's degree in law and justice studies at Rowan University. Prior to being hired by the borough of Tenafly and graduating from college, Justin worked as a full-time private investigator. This work experience will provide him in his new environment where investigations, will serve him very well in his new environment where investigations are carried out daily. Justin then applied to and was accepted into the competitive alternate route program of the Atlantic County Police Academy, similar to like Patrick was doing. Patrick was here in Bergen, and Justin was at the bottom of the state. Where he graduated on November 22nd, 2024, so he already graduated. Justin won the emergency vehicle operations course competition. Just so you know, that's basically where you get to go take a police car and beat the crap out of it and have a lot of fun. And you hit the least amount of cones is what it is. That's basically what it is. Don't worry, they weren't our cars. All right? They're the academy cars. And then we also choose something I just heard. He'll teach something. So he's a specimen, just like Patrick is when it comes to athletes. He probably would have won the top athletic award, but I come to find out something that because we were pulling him out of the academy so much to interview him and test him this and that, they didn't give it to him. So I apologize for that. But basically, the runner-up, right? He's currently assigned to the field training program here in the department, where he's learning all the department procedures and practices, in addition to learning all of the streets in his patrol district. Learning all the streets is not the easiest thing to do, folks, or something, but you'll get it and you'll do it well. We're equally thrilled to have Officer Colshar joining our team here in Tenafly. You're going to now take your oath. Your brother Chris is going to hold the Bible and pin your badge. Come on up, Chris. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. Karen, Mom's going to pin the badge. If you can't clamp it, just throw it on. Okay.
I state your name.
I, Justin Colchar,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and
and governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people.
and in this state under the authority of the people.
I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties
and justly perform all the duties
of probationary police officer
of the probationary police officer
for the borough of Tenafly
of the borough of Tenafly
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
That concludes the swearing-in ceremony for the two officers here in front of me. Making a cameo appearance is in the back row right there is also to the future of the Tenafly Police Department. These three gentlemen right here, which will be starting the academy in January and also be sworn in on the reorg day. Is that the second or the third? Is that what it is? Right. So these guys are going to be starting the academy fresh. We picked them up in the academy midway through, but 5 new people. Yes, I'm starting to feel old. That's okay. That's okay. But so that concludes the ceremony. I want to thank you for your time and allowing us to do this.
I just want to say, congratulations, but also thank you for coming to Tenafly and choosing our community. We're really proud to have you guys here and extremely excited. And as the chief said, we're doing a lot of recruiting, and you've got three new recruits right behind you coming on board. So it's a great town. It's got its challenges, but I know you guys will be up to it. So thank you very much for joining the police force. Okay, chief. Yeah. Everyone's welcome to stay for the whole council meeting. If you have enough coffee with you. Thanks, guys. All right. We've got council members and Omar. Okay, so we have 2 gifts that were donated to the borough. I just wanted to share with you. They were donated recently. The first one is from photographer Joey Shim, and he had an exhibit at the KCC. And I happened to mention I like one of the photographs, so he donated a replica of it to the town. So we're going to frame this and hang it in Borough Hall. Of course, it's the train tracks in front of Angelique, so that's very cool. So thank you, Joey. And Elizabeth, instead of in front of the Elizabeth Cady Stanton station. The second gift here is from the Korean Community Center, and this is a replica of a celadon inlaid gilded chrysanthemum and vine cup from the 15th century. And it's got, I don't want to actually, well, you know what, I will take it out. Why not? Yeah. I won't break it. And it's got gold leaf on it, all kinds of beautiful stuff.
15th century.
Yeah.
You were young then.
Yeah, I was a kid. All right. So Omar, why don't you prepare the appropriate resolutions, and so we can accept it all at the next available council meeting. All right. We'll put them on display here in Borough Hall. So thank you to Joey Shim, and thank you to the Korean Community Center. Okay. All right, next on the agenda, since we're going to start off to be considered the draft of the membership program for the municipal pool, I'd like to first start by appointing the ad hoc committee that we talked about at the last council meeting. And so for the ad hoc committee for the pool, I'm appointing Janet Kim, Maria Velez Tejeda, and Christine Cook. Okay? And then let's take it away with the draft membership program discussion.
Okay, in your packet or on the screen, I have the municipal pool registration program. Basically, in working with the mayor and with the 3 members of the ad hoc committee, we basically came up with a membership amount for 2025, and to really encourage membership to be paid prior to February 28th, so we can gauge whether or not this pool season will be able to move forward. We're providing a 15% discount for family membership for both the in Tenafly residents and outside of Tenafly residents. On this form, it says family/grandparents, so the word grandparents should be removed. It's really just family membership. Some of the form was borrowed from another town, so that didn't get caught until just now. Other than that, if there are any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. But if this meets with your satisfaction, we'll get it out tomorrow and then publicize it between now and February 28th.
Was the process for setting the fees, and how what is the mathematical number of required participants at the lowest base level in order to achieve cash flow neutrality?
So the goal in total revenue for minimum would be $200,000 between all of the categories.
So in other words, if we get 110 Tenafly families at 850, or whatever 210, or we get 150 out-of-town families plus organizations, so long as the combination adds up to the 200,000, that's the goal.
And where did the numbers come from? Was it comparative to other towns?
Good.
Yeah, it was comparative to other towns. We did look at Cresskill. We looked at the history of membership amounts that the Tenafly Swim Club had placed in place, and we did find out through some of the research that their rates were increased on a regular basis without potentially any input from their membership, and the increasing of that cost drove members away. So the ad hoc committee felt strongly that if we were able to set the rates where we have them now, that will spark a significant amount of Tenafly residents to rejoin the pool.
So we've reduced rates year over year, is that right?
Well, this is reduced from when the swim club ran the operation, yes.
So, yeah, so it's reduced from year over year, but not, it's much more consistent with prior years. Last year, they raised the rates and they drove, correct, correct.
And I'm
people ran to
told,
Cresco.
and I'm told we net, JP Peduto, who's online, has his certified pool operator license. He worked at the swim club for a few seasons as one of the managers. We're looking to bring him on to serve in that role for us. And one of the things we're going to look at is the staffing that is required. There's some thought that the swim club had overstaffed on a shift by shift basis, and maybe that was somewhat bloated. So we're looking to ratchet that down as well.
Will we set when this is distributed a target date of kind of no.
February 28th.
That's how 28th.
Yes. Yes. So I should be prepared to have a report to you for your first meeting in March.
And so Janet and Christine are here, and actually, and Maria is online. So if any of you have any questions for the committee, they're also here.
I just wanted a refresher that how is this getting promoted? Can you just remind me?
Well, we're going to release it on our website. Jamie Cannon is going to send it to all the folks that are on Community Pass. It will be able to be signed up on Community Pass and paid through Community Pass as well. We're also going to ask the school to put it on their communication. We'll put it on Facebook channels and
My mayor's messaging.
Mayor's messaging and so forth.
And the senior center.
The mayor, yes, and the mayor can put it on his every Friday from now through February.
And I also appreciate, I know you guys were at the Winter Festival, so thank you guys for that. That was
Freezing.
great. I'd love, I don't know if anyone's available for, we have the Santa this week.
This week.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know if anyone could go there, but you guys, they're doing a great job of getting.
Time is Santa.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I think the Santa visit is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
You get
Yes.
cameras. That they make of families.
So when, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And the website as well, right?
Yes, yeah.
So when will, so if I put this in this Friday's message, will people be able to go on Friday at 4:01 to register somewhere?
Yes, yes.
Community Pass will be up and running.
I've talked to Jamie about it, so hopefully we're going to get the community pass portion of this up and running tomorrow or Thursday at the latest.
And then we can put, okay.
Yes.
All right, any other questions? Go ahead, Vinod.
Is
please.
there an online version of this?
Yeah, this is going to be put online and
Okay.
fillable online,
So it's
both
not
on the
just-
borough website with instructions on where to then email that or send the payment. But, primarily we want to try to direct them on the community pass because in community pass, they can pay through community pass.
Right, but I mean, there's no online, like where you can actually fill in the information,
Yeah, so this is going to be online.
but they have to send it in.
Well, no, it's once you go on Community Pass to do this,
Okay, got it.
this, everything here will pop up and then they'll fill in. There'll be some mandatory responses that they've read acknowledged the rules and so forth. and we'll have that to you.
We weren't going to put anything up until
Right.
after this meeting.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from anyone? Okay, so do we have a consensus to do this? We're going to move forward full speed ahead then? Okay?
Benchmark check in February 20th.
Wait, go ahead, what?
Benchmark check in February
Correct, 100%.
If possible, since there's lines at the out-of-town meeting, there should be some outside.
Yeah, we're going to, Janet, I think, has the email addresses to those members that were previously from out of town, or that are out of town that were former members, right?
Or those previous members.
We're in touch with people who live out of town, so they'll help us spread the word. It would be helpful to get past emails from the previous.
So we can work on that offline, okay?
Okay.
I mean, even for previous years,
Yeah.
look at the ones who have gone to Cresskill
We'll
and all
ask
these
them for
places.
whatever records they have.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Sounds like we're good to go. Okay. Thank all three of you. Thank you, all three of you. You have a, did you want, I didn't want to, did you want to say something or? Just come up to the microphone, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, now comes the.
I mean, you sound like the fair. We're looking forward to spreading the word now, and we can actually put a number to it.
Good.
And really start spreading the word and getting people to sign up. So we're excited that we got here. We're really appreciative that you're all supporting.
For getting us here.
Okay, we're all working towards it. Okay, thanks for all your work.
Thank
And
you.
Maria also.
Yes.
It's just the beginning.
Thank you. Yes,
Beginning.
right.
Okay, thank you. All right, have a great night. Now the hard part starts.
Yeah.
Okay, next is the Bergen County Division of Community Development, the CDBG grant.
Okay. So about a year and a half back, when we were talking about the Grove Street Park, I remembered that Andy Hippolyte had mentioned in passing that this location would be great for an ADA compliant bathroom that he said that would be eligible and probably completely paid for by a community block grant. And I have to confess, I was only focusing on the park and I didn't really know what the community block grant was, but I had it in the back of my head. So when Adam reached out and we were talking about community block grant ideas, I remembered how Andy had said that. And so just as a little background for anyone listening, our Grove Street Park has ADA compliant flower beds, so they're raised, that's where people with wheelchairs can do the gardening, those are the community garden plots. And it's also being designed that a person can park, go in a wheelchair, and then all the pathways, they can go like directly through the entire park, around the skate park, come back, and that's all wheelchair accessible paths. So this is an ADA compliant park. So one of the pieces of the community block grant is, that a bathroom, putting in an ADA compliant bathroom is really in line with what one of the tenets of the grant is. So that was an idea that I thought might be worth pursuing.
It'd be great.
Yeah, so there is a resolution on the agenda tonight to authorize the grant application for the Grove Street Park and to authorize Colliers to formally submit that on our behalf. I would mention that we are somewhat limited on what projects we could entertain because it would have to be at one of our public facilities, primarily serving senior citizens and disabled residents, because none of our census tracts among themselves qualify for CDBG grants. So this is an opportunity. I think we're going to apply for $250,000, and there is a typical match, usually about 20%. So whatever they award, we would match that by 20%, and then that would be our project.
And for what it's worth, I mean, anyone can use the bathroom.
Yes.
And I feel that, as a mother who had young kids, who took my kids to the park, sometimes the thing that's forgotten about is the need for a bathroom if you have little kids and stuff. So I think this is a great family addition. So
Great recommendation. Thanks,
appreciate the
Councilwoman.
support.
Yeah.
Any other questions about this? So Omar, are we going to add this as 540 and 541?
So, yeah, so we're going to add this as Yes, 540 and 541.
So 540 is for the engineering, 541 is for the grant itself, 250,000.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you for that. It's public comment time. Audience members wishing to speak will have a 3-minute time limit to address the governing body on any items on or off the agenda. Large groups are asked to have a spokesperson represent them. Is there anyone here in the chambers from the public that would like to speak? Is there anyone here, Omar?
See no hands, Mayor.
Okay, is there anyone online that would like to speak? Please raise your hand or speak up now. Omar, no one there?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, JP?
Yes, how's it going?
Good. Just speak up a little, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I know you all are voting on the TVAC performance stipend agenda. I did provide information to Omar to disseminate to all of you, so I just wanted to see if there were any questions or concerns. TVAC, as always, is doing the most for the town and has, over the past year, gone above and beyond. And even with our updated ordinance, now the members have to do 5 times as much work to earn their performance stipend. And that's why we're asking for that increase. So I just wanted to see if anyone had any questions. But we thank you for your support, and we look forward to continuing to support the town of Tenafly.
Well, JP, we thank you and your team for everything you do for the community. So that's really the challenging part, right? So thank you for that, and congratulations for all the hard work your team does. Does anyone have any questions for JP at this point? No?
Thank you, JP.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, JP.
And please pass
Thank
on
you.
this.
Yes, I will. Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone.
You too. Okay, any other members of the public online or in the chambers that would like to speak? Omar, are you seeing any hands or anyone wanting to speak online?
See no hands, Mayor.
All right, we're going to close public comment time, and let's move right on to the administrator's report, please.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before getting into the written part of my report, I just wanted to bring up a couple of things on some cost-saving matters and some solutions. One is actually with TVAC. As we have talked previously, Dr. Chertoff was unable to move forward with being the medical director because of insurance concerns and the length of time that insurance would have to be covered. So we have a vacancy there, and it's a needed position to allow for the TVAC to have EpiPens and Narcan and CPAP and some other things that are required by prescription or to be directed by a medical director. I reached out to Dr. Barbara Schreibman at Englewood Hospital, and she is willing to entertain the possibility of becoming the medical director for us. She is looking to set up a meeting with JP and his leadership that will be joined by our liaison, the mayor, and myself, to make sure everybody's sort of on the same page. She has some expectations on chart review and some other things that she will require to lend her license to be the medical director. The beneficial part is the stipend for that is probably going to be something about $4,000, which is significant. It's a fraction of the money that we had set aside in the budget to pay for the malpractice insurance. So in 2024, we never paid for the malpractice insurance because we couldn't work that out. So we have money to, in fact, pay for that. We can carry it over and make an appropriation in 2025. Englewood Hospital's contribution is they pay for the medical malpractice insurance as a community service. Dr. Schreiben serves as medical director for a few other municipalities, a volunteer ambulance corps. So we will be joining some others, and from all concerned, she has a good track record. In talking with JP about this yesterday, it's my understanding that the TVAC membership at one point had wanted to have Dr. Schreiben a few years ago, and so we're basically going to pick up where that was left off.
So she is able to do it simply because the hospital is an ongoing organization that'll still be insured 50 years from now. So she's covered by their insurance.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, and that's not going to cost us anything. Englewood Hospital provides that as a community service. So we're essentially getting that coverage for free.
That's fabulous. Okay.
Okay, the other thing I have is on the shared services column, we have an opportunity before us to significantly cost reduce or cost avoid some expenses. Specifically, the county executive has reached out and has offered a shared service for county fiber. And the county fiber is going to be 10 times faster than what we are paying for right now. Currently, we're paying about $15,000 a year. The county fiber is going to cost us $150 a month. The fiber is here in Tenafly and ready to go. We would just need a green light that. If there's a consensus to move that forward, we can put a resolution on the recess agenda to get that process moving.
So 1,800 versus 18,000 annually.
15,000, yeah.
That goes a little.
Yeah.
You want to go with the low one?
And then likewise, we just started some due diligence with potential of having county IT provide our IT services. And the preliminary mark is that that's going to be at least half of what we're currently paying. They will provide the firewall and do an assessment of our computers, offer some training, maintain our computer system, and we also have the ability through them to potentially look at a new phone system, which hasn't been upgraded for a number of years. And in a phone system, they will be able to support through the shared service. So that is still a work in progress. We have some due diligence. They're going to be back here on Thursday to walk through our building to do an assessment for us. And depending on what that assessment is and how they would like to proceed, we may be in a position to present that to the council, if not at the recess meeting at the January 14th.
All right, so the cable's full speed ahead, and then more information to come on the details.
Yes.
The IT. Okay. Go ahead, Julian.
So on the Grove Street Park one, you noted that the skate equipment is due to come in March. Just wanted to be clear that we're not waiting for the opening of the entire thing for that skate equipment,
No,
right? We're
no,
still on
it's-
target for the January.
Yeah, so Kindergarten, our contractor, is on target to complete his task by January 31st.
Yeah.
So all the other aspects of the park should be in place by then, barring any major blizzard or something of that nature, right? So if there's a weather event, that may get extended, but if we keep with the current weather we have, we should be okay.
The reason I was asking is, I'm liaisoning with the Green Team and Environmental Commission, and they're gonna have to get their plan in order for the community garden plots that are raised, they have to decide, people, differently able people on how they're gonna organize that and reserve those plots. So their target date should be kind of having an idea by January 31.
Yes.
Theoretically.
Yes.
Not that there was gardening at that moment, but
Yeah, and those planters and so forth, we will make a decision whether they should be put out now or put out in the spring.
Oh, okay.
So that they don't get beat up in the winter without
That's a good
raising.
point.
But Kindergarten is on target. He'll complete the skate park equipment, as you know, is from a separate vendor. And there was a lead time to order that equipment, so they're targeting to have that installed for us in March.
They really think it will be March. It sounds like that traffic.
Yeah, well,
there.
remember that we
That's like-
authorized that contract in either late September or early October.
Okay.
So
If we begin to
yeah,
start.
we're running the lead time clock, so we should be.
And that price is fixed. We don't-
Yes, we're all done with the skate park equipment. Yes.
Does-
Question for you. Please,
Yes. Go ahead.
60%, 40% failure rate.
Yes.
Are we addressing that with those kind of things?
We're going to, they're going to be getting fines. Those that have completely failed grease traps are most likely going to get a summons for a $5,000 fine. Those that are partially failed, meaning they just don't have their paperwork on site and in order, will get a $500 fine.
I like the one that they didn't even know if they had a grease trap.
And then there's at least one that just doesn't have a grease trap at all.
Do they have it now?
I would have to check on that. I know that was something that was discovered last week.
That was only one inspection.
The quarterly inspection.
What does it cost for them to do that as a process of quarterly basis?
For the business, I don't know, but again, there's an ordinance,
I'm just making sure it's not cheaper.
yeah,
There's
there's,
one.
yeah, I mean, we could look into that, but, the ordinance that we're considering later tonight will make that a requirement to be on a monthly basis.
Yeah, I
They're
remember.
currently not on a monthly
So
basis.
I want to make sure that the fines are more punitive for the act itself. $5,000 for the light, they'll have to do a monthly.
I
And
can,
regardless, someone's going to less than $5,000.
and we've had a few businesses that have been very responsive. I had sent a letter out.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I
No,
sent a
so,
letter out
I
a
mean-
couple of-
It's-
I sent a letter out a couple of weeks ago, and I had instant email asking if this plan would comply. Then I had someone that actually brought their receipt in from cleaning into my office, which will go to DPW. So we'll take a look at what's been submitted and see if there's any invoice cost there. But we do have the name of some companies that our businesses are using, so if the costs aren't there, we can call them and just ask them.
I think the fines.
What the price-
2 to 3 to 4 times the amount of actual compliance to do what they should do.
I think it's much less than than a $500 monthly. So
Yeah, and it probably would be, if they do it monthly, then they're not getting, compacted grease that's sitting there for 4 months, so
Yeah.
it should be helpful.
Yeah, cleaning grease traps are on the magnitudes of hundreds, like the new saying, not thousands.
it's not thousands.
Yeah, that comes in the house, right?
Yeah, this is different.
Yeah, but when they're on a contract,
Yeah,
they come in and,
As long as
X
we
amount.
don't get a big problem, it's not-
All right, any other questions for David on the administrator's report?
The only other thing I was gonna update you on, that's on here, is the municipal field beautification. So we had a pre-construction call with the engineers and the contractor today. So they were given a notice to proceed. They can start as early as they would like, but their actual committed start date would be March 15th. And then they would have 90 days to complete. The actual work inside of the fence is going to be about a 2-week period. So they were very specifically given the instruction that that work has to be started and completed between March 15th and April 1st. So that we're not disrupting any of the usage of the field, and Jamie County was on board and suggested that time frame, and she's comfortable with that time period being closed.
And then you also had an update, I think, on the EV charging in the municipal.
Yeah, I think the power is on. I have to figure out whose orange cones are there so we can get the cones removed. I think they're green points, but
You gotta make sure.
yeah, I'll find out. If they're not marked for Tenafly, they have other markings on them, so I don't believe they're ours.
And those are the fast chargers. So
Yes.
that'll be-
Yes.
It's pretty exciting for me because I saw people charging in the ones in the field, on Washington when I went to the winter festival. I was like, oh my God, people are using the chargers. It's pretty exciting.
That's the goal, right?
It's working.
All right, you good, David?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the public hearings, please. The first one, Councilman Rolieri, the ordinance 24-36, the bond ordinance. Omar, could you please read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title?
Ordinance 24-36, it was published in the December 8th edition of the Record. It's a bond ordinance to authorize the replacement of the sanitary sewer line on West Railroad Avenue from River Edge Road to Washington Avenue in, by, and for the borough of Tenafly and the county of Bergen, New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $500,000 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
I'd like to open the floor for any public comment on ordinance 24-36 only. Anyone online or in the chambers that would like to comment on this? Omar, do you see any hands in either locations?
See no hands, Mayor.
Okay, we're going to close public comment. Councilman Rolieri, would you like to make a motion, please?
Pass second and final reading, ordinance 24-36, and that notice of the same shall be published accordingly.
Have a second, please.
Second.
Omar, please conduct the roll call.
Councilmember Corsair, Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Leary.
Yes.
Ordinance 24-37, Public Works Supervisor. Omar, could you please read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title?
Ordinance number 24-37, it was published in the December 8th edition of the Record, is an ordinance to fix the salary, wage, or compensation of the employees of the Department of Public Works, represented by the Public Works Supervisors Bargaining Unit for the calendar years 2025, 2026, and 2027.
I'd like to open the floor for public comments on ordinance 24-37 only. Omar, are there any members of the public online or in the chambers that would like to speak?
See no hands, Mayor.
All right, I'm going to close public comment. Councilman Michaels, would you like to make a motion?
I move to pass and adopt on second and final reading, ordinance 24-37, and that notice of same shall be published according to law.
Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Omar, could you please conduct the roll call?
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Leary.
Yes.
Ordinance 24-38, police salaries. Omar, could you please read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title of the ordinance?
Ordinance number 24-38 was published in the December 8th edition of the Record. It's an ordinance to amend ordinance 24-15, the salary, wage, or compensation of the rank of police officers of the Police Department of the Borough of Tenafly in the County of Bergen and State of New Jersey for the calendar years 2023, 2024, 2025, and 2026.
I'd like to open the floor for any public comments on ordinance 24-38 only. Omar, do you see anyone in the chambers or online that would like to make a comment?
See no hands, Mayor.
Okay, we're going to close public comment. Councilwoman Dr. O'Connor, would you like to make a motion, please?
I move to pass and adopt on second and final reading, ordinance 24-38, and that notice of same shall be published according to law.
Have a second, please.
Second.
Omar, could you please conduct the roll call?
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Leary.
Yes.
Ordinance 24-39, admin group salaries, 2024 to 2026. Omar, can you please read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title? Oh, 2024, 26, and 27. My mistake.
Okay, ordinance number 24-39, an ordinance that was published in the December 8th edition of the Record, is an ordinance for the title, salary, wage, or compensation of the employees of the Tenafly Administrative Employees Bargaining Unit for the calendar years 2024, 2025, 2026, and 2027.
I'd like to open the floor for public comments on ordinance 24-39 only. Omar, are there any members of the public in the chambers or online that would like to speak?
See no hands, Mayor.
All right, I'm going to close public comment. Councilman Menon, would you like to make a motion, please?
Sure. I move to pass and adopt on second and final reading, ordinance 24-39, and that notice of same shall be published according to law.
Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Omar, please conduct the roll call.
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Leary.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 24-40, regulation of grease traps. Omar, please read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title.
Sure. Ordinance number 24-40, it was published in the December 8th edition of the Record. It is an ordinance of the Borough of Tenafly, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 18 Sewer, Section 1 Sewer Connections to revise the regulation of grease traps and interceptors of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Tenafly, 2004.
Okay, I'd like to open the floor for any public comments on ordinance 24-40 only. Omar, is there anyone in the chamber or online that would like to speak?
See no hands, Mayor.
We're going to close public comment. Councilman Park, would you like to make a motion, please?
I move to pass and adopt on second and final reading, ordinance 24-40, and that notice of same shall be published according to law.
Have a second, please.
Second.
Omar, could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Leary.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 24-41, non-represented salary ordinance. Omar, please read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title.
Ordinance number 24-41. It was published in the December 8th edition of the record. It's an ordinance to amend ordinance 24-18, the salary, wage, or compensation of certain management, administrative, and part-time employees of the Borough of Tenafly and the County of Bergen and State of New Jersey for the calendar years 2024, 2025, 2026, and 2027.
I'd like to open the floor for public comments on ordinance 24-41 only. Omar, is there any member of the public in the chambers or online that would like to speak?
See no hands, sir.
Okay, thank you. Close public comment. Councilman Rolieri, would you like to make a motion?
Move to pass and adopt on second and final reading ordinance 24-41, and then notice of same shall be published accordingly.
Have a second, please.
Second.
Omar, please conduct a roll call.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Councilmember Rolieri.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any questions about the consent agenda? Okay. Could I have a motion to approve resolutions R24-523 through R24-541? Could I have a second?
Second.
Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels,
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilmember Park,
Yes.
Councilmember Rolieri.
Yes.
Could I get a motion to approve the minutes of November 26, 2024, the mayor and council meeting, and December 3rd, 2024, the mayor and council meeting? I have a second.
Second.
Omar, please call, please, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, committee reports. Dan, why don't we start with you tonight?
Met with TVAC yesterday, and we just passed their stipend, so that's about it.
All right, so they're happy. All right, thank you. Banu, anything to report?
Nothing, I mean, besides the senior center met yesterday, and the numbers are up to 640, I think it was.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
So
641.
they're happy with the the progress or the what
Growth.
the movement on the
Great.
senior center. At least without necessarily knowing that it'll come to pass that way.
Okay, very good.
So, yeah.
Thank you. Councilwoman Dr. O'Connor.
Yes, so the Environmental Commission met, and I was going to put this in the to be considered, but I think I might have missed the deadline. However, I've just been putting in the committee report because they are endorsing something that I'd like us to think about.
Who is?
The Environmental Commission.
Okay.
It's called Skip the Stuff Ordinance. Now, Skip the Stuff Ordinance is about that the customer would ask for plastic utensils when they're doing takeout rather than automatically put in. Because a lot of times we go home, we have all those plastic utensils, you didn't even need it, it ends up in the garbage. So this ordinance has been passed in Hoboken, Jersey City, places with like large takeout businesses, Red Bank. It's getting more popular throughout New Jersey. So this would be the type of thing to just reduce some of the plastic pollution, some of the litter. And I think it's also finding it to be a win-win for the businesses themselves because it's going to lower their bottom line. I know that we already have some places in town that do this. For example, when you go to Tenafly Diner, if you get the utensils, they'll charge you for them. So, that's usually a question they ask. They say, oh, you take any utensils? To say no. But if you ask for them, there's a charge. So it's not like we don't have this in some of our businesses already, but this is something that they have an ordinance, kind of a template, been passed in municipalities throughout the state. And so they endorse this, anything to get some of the plastics out of
So you want to add that to be considered for the conversation next meeting?
Sure.
Is that what you're asking?
But this was basically my report was that I didn't care.
Oh, okay.
It's just I had wanted to put it into be considered considered, but I just put it in. The Environmental Commission was endorsing doing an ordinance like this. So I could bring up one of the sample ordinances for the next meeting, see what y'all think.
You can do that, sure, add it to be considered. Yeah, we'll see if there's interest in it.
And so basically, we are already communicating with the Nature Center has reached out, saying that they would be able to take more trees from the Shade Tree Fund money, like they had planted trees last year from that fund that helps them with their forest health plan, because they are trying to replace invasives with native trees. So I've connected their wish list over to Mike. So we'll see in this upcoming planting season what's left, for the Nature Center.
Okay.
Just a quick question, Councilwoman. There are a couple of potentially new downtown members. One of the folks is very passionate about how we bring even more color and vibrance to the downtown. One idea that they had was, we have this shade tree fund. I don't know if this is how we do it, but he's already identified places throughout the downtown, sort of in between the street and whatever the store is. Can we plant? Is the fund, we use that money to plant trees?
I don't know if that fund does, I think that shade tree fund is, because I've asked that question, is specifically for trees.
Trees. So that's what I meant.
I thought you meant,
Relocation.
I thought you meant like little gardens or something.
No, I'm saying there's space between the street and whatever, the store, whatever.
So if you give me those locations, I'm gonna forward them over to Mike, because he and his tree guy, they're the arbiter of where people go. So a lot of times it could be somebody saying, put it here, they go inspect it, they'll look at underground wiring, they'll look at light, and then they'll say yes or no. But if, borough right of way, it's borough right of way. It's for 10 feet.
And we-
It's a good idea, it brings color, changing.
And we have to make sure, whatever trees you put there, we have to make sure that the root structure doesn't destroy the sidewalks.
Yeah.
And Mike is very educated on that stuff, so throw it over to me and I will pass it on to him.
Some bamboo?
Thank
Because all I do is I tuck trees down all the time, so yes.
No, that's awesome. Perfect. I will
Thank
get
you.
that. So
And I can communicate with Mike too.
yeah.
Okay,
I will have the team send us a prioritized list, and I will send it to you.
there is money in the shade tree fund,
No, it's fine.
and so, yeah, every place we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Adam?
Just a huge thank you first to our residents for a successful Winter Wonderland on
It was a lot of fun.
Saturday. Very popular on the ice rink. Maybe we should do it.
Oh,
It was really good. I mean, of course, the s'more tables always seem to win over everything. So I'm happy that the school's got some stuff there. But a huge thank you, please pass on to DPW Director
Yes.
Cassidy, the rec department. Everyone did a great job moving things around.
how are the conditions of those plates? I walked over and a little beat up. The plates, the ice plates, yeah.
We could do it again. Super cool. Remember 100 years ago during COVID, actually thank our residents, right?
Yep,
Businesses, actually, we privately
Yep,
funded
yep.
the entire event. If we could get it used, so, the feedback I got last night, we had a meeting. The idea of doing it for 3 months doesn't seem to work as well. But the idea for Santa, for Winter Wonderland,
Right.
it works for particular
Events. Right.
So again, I'd happily, and I'm sure our businesses would happily upgrade. We did do one upgrade since the original buy.
Oh, did we? Oh,
We bought some stuff, we added, we actually expanded it to make it even a little bigger.
Right.
But I'm happy I would love the residents to tell me that we want to do it more often, and I'd happily fund privately. Yeah. It just has to be, but the big thing is it has to be flat. So we thought about doing it, my aspiration was always to have the highway area. The problem is the roads are not flat enough. It has to be really flat.
really flat.
So the basketball courts are really flat.
Yeah.
So I love other places, but as long as it's flat, we can move it. I don't know what the material estimate is.
The basketball court is asphalt.
I'm sure you can buy an underlay, foam underlay.
So on that note, Dan, DVW did mention that this is probably the season that you're gonna get the most out of these current panels, so we would need to look at potentially the cost of replacing them for next season.
Do you remember the number for the first run?
Like 50,000.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
50,000.
yeah, all right.
we'll see. Again, I would commit, I'll get you guys the money. Again, we did it all privately last time. If we get the engagement.
The
We
NEMA,
did.
the NEMA.
The first year was great, the second year was waning, the third year was just pretty much me and, Jamie and Carol every day. Which was great, and it was very romantic for the three of us, but not so much for the rest of the residents.
It's hard to get kids out there.
Yeah, we tried. I mean, again, we did it for birthday parties for some time, we did it
It's
for
event
fundraisers for
driven.
the schools, it's event driven, yeah.
What else, Councilman?
That's all I got, thank you very much.
Councilman Roglier.
Celebrating the end of leaf season, and thank you. Remediating all of our roads, we're almost there. It's, that was a challenge.
That was a long leave season.
Thank them for their efforts.
Yes, they did a great job. They did a great job. Okay, mayor's remarks then. We're done with committee reports. A little update. I spoke to Tom Toronto today at
Yes.
United Way, in terms of the project on Serpentine. They expect to be in front of the planning board, or hoping to be in front of the planning board in February with their plans for that, for the veterans housing over there. And so one of the things I brought up with them, we talked about the street parking. We talked about that earlier this year. We want to allow them to be able to park the cars of the residents that are in that, those apartments there on the street, okay, overnight. Right, and so we're going to we'll put this on to be considered for the next meeting. The next meeting where it makes sense to put it, right? After reorg, right? And so what will happen, you'll draw up an ordinance, we'll put it to be considered, and then we want to hopefully pass that before the planning, because the planning board's going to need that to make their variances for parking.
And just to bring folks up to speed who may not recall, the reason that this deviation of parking is needed is because otherwise there would be less units on the site, and the council had tasked United Way with coming up with the greatest bang for the buck, so to speak,
Yep.
for that property. So obviously the give and take is there's not enough room for RSIS parking standards.
Yep, we remember.
Okay, all right. Would you like to read the language for closed session, please? Bonnie? No, I was going to do the ad hoc committee now, but I did that earlier, right?
Resolution R24 I'm sorry, Omar, what's the number? 542? At a meeting of the mayor and council of the borough of Tenafly, county of Bergen, state of New Jersey, held on December 17, 2024, be it resolved in compliance with NJSA 10:4-12, the mayor and council of the borough of Tenafly are going into closed executive session to discuss the following matters: attorney-client privilege matters or affordable housing update, and litigation update. Personnel matters are personnel policies update. Minutes will be taken of the meeting and released to the public at the time that the matter is resolved.
Could I have a motion to go into close, please?
So moved.
Could I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?